This is How Far, where people tell us about their life in diaspora. Today's guest is a mom, a working professional, and someone who has been living in a different country for a few years. How far?
I did.
Tell me how you are doing without saying fine.
Oh, wow. I'm doing all right.
All right.
Do you need more than that?
I need more than that.
um. Hmm. Well, if you're asking me about today, how I'm feeling right now, how I'm doing right now, today, I think I am doing great. Yeah, life is good. I'm alive. Family is good. Um, relationships are great. Not all of them, but most of them. um, yeah, I have a roof over my head. I'm doing great. Thank you.
I like your hair, by the way.
Thank
Very
you.
nice.
Thank you. Thanks.
Okay. So you're here to tell us about your life in diaspora. I'm just going to ask you, how many phones have you had since you moved into this country?
Um, I've had two,
Two.
just two.
So on average, how many years do you use one phone
Please.
for?
Average, I don't know. I can just tell you what I think. I used my first phone up until 2021. Actually, 2022. I got this phone that I now use in 2022 as a gift, as a birthday gift. So I've been using that up until now. That's 3 years. So first one, I've been 7 years in Canada. I mean, it'll be 7 years this September. So average 3 years, one phone.
So roughly now we can say you've been here for like 7 years.
Yes.
So that we're closing in on a decade,
Yes,
Close
yes,
to a decade.
yes. Wow, wow.
So how's that
Yes.
been like?
It's been a journey. It's been a journey. It's been a journey. That's all I can say for now. I don't know if you've been in this situation where you're like, if somebody puts a mic to my face and asks me that question, I'll know what to say. But then when it happens, they're like, I don't have the words. No, 7 years. Wow. It's actually 6 going to 7. So
Okay, so almost 7.
years of trials, and lots of laughter, and so many wows.
Okay, so speaking of the laughter part, let's look a little more into that part.
Okay.
Can you tell me one random act of kindness that you experienced since you moved here? One that's memorable, just one random.
It's funny, but it has never left me. It was the day an older man allowed me to use his shopping cart. I didn't need to. I had my $1. It was at No Frills. I don't know if you know, No Frills. I had my $1. I was ready to, because that's something I fight with. Just finding that $1 to be able to shop.
Coin.
And this man, I was just struggling to get the $1 before I could even do anything. He's like, "No, you can take mine." So at first I said, "Let me just give you the $1 and go with
Yeah,
your
with the
card, because I
cards,
know
yeah.
your dollar is there." He said, "No, it's fine, it's fine." And just like that, when I finished shopping, because of how kind, the old me would have said, "Go and collect the $1, I have $2." I said, "No, no, no, this man showed me kindness. Let me pass it on." But that kindness never left. I know it sounds like nothing,
Basic,
but it really stuck with me. It stuck with me.
that's
Yeah.
nice.
It brought like hope, that there's hope in
Was this
humanity.
like when you just came, or like how far? Like,
This was in 2023. I remember my mom was here then. So I'd been here, 4 years?
oh, okay,
Yeah.
been
So
here for some time.
Yeah.
Okay, so I know that. So you've been here for almost 7 years. What's what would you say is something that was very I know people talk a lot about, what's surprising to them when they land in a new country. So what's one surprising thing, something that you did not expect to happen? I'm sure before you came, you had Googled, you had gone on Nairaland, Reddit, everywhere to see what's life going to be like in this new space. But what's something that you didn't see and then you got here, you're like, okay.
Yeah. Um, one fact, I did not Google Canada. I think maybe story for another day. I was not excited to come here. That's just the thing. It wasn't something that I stayed up thinking about. In fact, I didn't want to do it. I did it because I realized that if I was talked into doing it, that it was going to be great for the children. We'll be giving them a gift. So that was what convinced me. So I really didn't do all the Googling um, stuff. But one thing that it was what shocked me, right?
Mm-hmm.
One thing that shocked me, I mean, outside of the obvious, the cold, not that one. One thing that shocked me because we arrived here in 2018 was just how nice the people were. I know it sounds like cliche nice, but I did enjoy the niceness in 2018. I don't know if a lot of that may have changed now, but then people were a lot more caring, a lot more interested in where you're coming from, what you're bringing. Wow, that and that. So that was shocking to me because I moved from ABA, where nobody cares about nobody. Like you can't, yeah. Especially when you want to cross the road. I feel like crossing the road was the biggest for me. Actually, if I can change my
Zebra
answer,
crossing.
yes, it will be the road crossing because I have never in my life a car will wait for me to cross. In fact, the first time I experienced it, I raced across the road before they changed their mind. But then I realized that it's normal here, so that was a big shock. Oh my god!
So yeah, basically people being nice, and then
Yes, 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 yes.
that's cool. So you've told me a little bit about your shock, your culture shock, but I know that you're a mom. So what would you tell me is like a parenting shock?
Hmm.
Like as a something that you had to adjust to, or
Yeah. Um. Well, I'll state one obvious. Can I say two? Okay.
please
So
knock yourself out.
one of them, I think most of us already know or may have heard, oh, you don't spank a child openly, or you don't hit, or that was, I wouldn't say that that was so shocking because even in Nigeria, I wasn't really given into spanking or
Yeah.
hitting them anyway.
Mm-hmm.
So here, it was more like it's no longer a me thing. This is what the community now.
Yeah.
So even it was even easier to have those conversations with people who are not here when they say, "Ah, do you beat them at all?" I say, now, number one, I can't really beat you in Canada. So that was one. Then the other parenting thing was just the need to explain everything to your child before you get them to do a certain thing. Like, it's not like they won't do it, but as the years went by, as they went from 4, it stopped being cute. At 4, it was like, oh, go and sit over there. Why?
Why?
I'm like, oh, he's building vocabulary and all that. Till I'm serious. Then they got 6, 7, 8, and they're not asking why as a reflex. They're not saying why. Like they actually want to know genuinely. So getting to learn how to not sound like your child is controlling you or you have to explain everything to them
Mm-hmm.
to the point where you and them, you now know like this is a trust relationship. So if I say go over there, it means that I know that even if I don't tell you ABCD of why, because I may not have the time or it might not be the right place, or there are just other people watching, I can't come and start saying, well, I need you to move because I don't want you to be rude to
Yeah.
when we've gotten to a point now where I can understand why that questioning matters, because
Yeah.
they're not just sheepishly following you, but
Yeah.
there's reasoning.
Mm-hmm.
And I can appreciate it more. But in the beginning, oh my God, I was like, I don't have to, I don't owe you an explanation.
Are you asking me everything?
You know, like, no, growing up,
Just
they're
do.
not. They don't. There's no privilege to ask your mom. But why? You know. So
Okay, so what's one tradition that you had back home that you still keep here? You still maintain?
oh. The most basic of all, and I say basic, not that it's, you know, simple or to be taken lightly, is our morning devotions. The night devotions, I'm not gonna lie, it kind of got something else happened, especially with the children. But the morning ones, we've maintained it. Bible study time, we've maintained it. Like Sunday
Yeah.
evenings are super important. Everyone gets it. There are some Sundays I don't have. It doesn't happen because of my schedule or something else is going on.
Yeah.
But once we can, it's one tradition that I kind of carried from my own home, my parents, and then now my children. It's kind of part of the family. The other thing, the other tradition, I don't know if it's a tradition, but we are big huggers. We are big huggers. We are big kissers. It's weird. My sons can kiss me anywhere, and hug anywhere. And like, we're very expressive. It's a tradition that I carried from when they were babies, and I still see they're 11 now, and they still want to kiss even in public. I mean, let's see what happens when they get to be 6.
It's still pretend, so
yeah, I've definitely had days where they stopped me. They're like, "Mom, no, not here,
not today."
Nah. But yeah,
Okay.
so far.
So, what's one tradition again, but one that you adopted when you came here? You were not doing it before, but you started doing it.
I think you'll be taking walks. I don't know if it's a tradition, but I feel like it's a Canadian part of our lives that we now go for walks.
So everyone just goes out for a stroll.
Yeah, just, hey mom, do you want to go for a walk? That kind of thing. It's not something that I grew up doing or saying, so I didn't do it before.
And it's not like you're counting. It's not like you want to exercise.
No. This is no steps, no step counting or anything. It's just basically they just want to be out.
See more of this, please like, share, subscribe to the channel, follow us on Instagram, follow us on our TikTok page as well. This is OWFA.